In our first reading of today, we find the death and resurrection of St. Paul. First and foremost, St. Paul, full of pomp and power, is going to Damascus, riding on a beast. Could be a camel, or maybe he was using a horse. We don't know. But what we know is that he fell to the ground. He can only fall on coming from something. So he was riding on a certain beast, going to Damascus, where he had an encounter with Christ. Paul, when he had fallen to the ground, he died. Spiritually, he died. Physically, he also died. Because we are told for 3 days, he was not seeing, he was not eating, he was not drinking. A man who is dead does not see, does not eat, or does not feed. He was reflecting God was transforming him, giving him now a new life. After 3 days, St. Paul resurrected as a new person. The old was gone. He became an apostle. This is an encounter that maybe we too should pray for, not only for ourselves, but for the whole world, for our brothers and sisters. Time needs to come for all of us who are riding on different beasts. It could be you are riding on pride, greed, or lack of forgiveness, lack of love. You are just comfortable in that kind of place. But God, maybe through the intercession of St. Paul, for many years, Paul persecuted the church, killed many people. It could be you or I or me in one way or another. I have maybe mistreated people. I have been too pompous. I'm proud. I'm riding on this kind of a beast, like St. Paul, moving up and down, doing all sorts of evil. We need to pray today that as we make our daily journeys in our lives, may we meet with Christ. We may fall from any type of sin that we are riding on. We may also die and resurrect as new people. And people will be able to notice, to say this person is a different person. Others, it will be very difficult for them to agree and understand and believe that you have changed. We hear in the first reading of today, Ananias does not believe that St. Paul has changed. He's afraid to go and meet up with St. Paul because he knew word was sent to Damascus that this man is coming to kill us all. At times as Christians, when we have converted, when we have stopped doing whatever evil we were doing, at times it is very difficult to make people believe. But we need to remain steadfast. We need to remain steadfast by proving to people that truly we have converted. Like St. Paul, it was not easy to be welcomed by other disciples, but he remained steadfast. He knew what had happened to him. He was a new creation, a new person. Christ today in the gospel talks to us as he did to St. Paul. He's telling us that those who believe will cast out demons. Those who believe will speak in different tongues. Those who believe will pick up serpents. Those who believe will drink deadly things, but they will not die. Those who believe will lay their hands on the sick and they will recover. St. Paul, since he believed, to an extent he did what Christ is saying in the gospel. He removed a lot of evil in many communities. St. Paul wrote to many communities to come back to God, to convert. A serpent is a symbol of evil. When a Christian, wherever this person is found as a Christian, could be in a home study, it could be in our works of life, different walks of life where we are found. Where there is evil, I need to remove that evil. A serpent is a symbol, or it stands for anything that is evil. You can do that. You can remove all sorts of sapience in our lives. But also, when Christ was in the Garden of Gethsemane, he cried out to his Father saying, "May this cup of suffering, death, and sorrow pass me." As Christians, we too may take or drink different types of deadly things, especially when we speak about the truth. We drink this deadly thing. Others may be scared. As priests, even as lay people, when things are happening in our society, the status quo of our society, when a priest speaks out, others are even afraid. He's drinking a deadly thing. But Christ is assuring us, you will not die. Christ says you speak in different tongues. Our world today has got its own vocabulary and language, which is very much, to an extent, evil. And Christ is saying, you speak in a different tongue. We live in a world where there's a lot of indifference. We live in a world where there's a lot of greed. We live in a world where there is less love. You only love those who love you. But Christ is calling us to speak a language which is different. May God bless his word. Amen.